Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mercy. Guys, today we are going to be learning how to make this pleated overlapping gown. As you can see what I just came up with after recreating my own, and you can see how beautiful my own is looking. Guys, if you're interested in learning this, just keep watching, okay? Now guys, to start this, I am going to first of all draft the down part of the gown, which is the basic skate pattern. Going to draft the down part. Now after drafting the down part, the measurement we are working with here, some measurement that is on this down part is the under bust measurement, waist measurement, hip, and the full length. Okay, because the plating we are working with started from the underbust. Okay, the half length started from the underbust. Now I went ahead to add on the hip measurement. I add my hip divided by 4 plus 3 inches, and that is what I did on the upper part. My waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. All right, so the next thing we are going to talk about, remember, we want to achieve the pleating. So we are going to be looking where the pleating length is going to start and end. And as you can see, the upper half length stop at the under bust here. So now the length we are working on the down part started from the under bust to the full length. So we are going to be talking where the pleating is going to start and where it's going to end. As you can see on this picture, the pleating started from the under bust down to where you want it to stop. So I'm just going to go ahead and place my tape from the starting point to get where I want the pleating to stop. So I'm just going to label it. It's just going to be called a slashing length. All right, that is where the pleating is going to stop. I'll go ahead and rule it out like so. I'll label slashing length. So guys, because I don't know how the back looks like, I'm not going to be pleating the back. I am going to use this pattern paper to cut out for the back. All right, I am not pleating the back because this type of method is called a slash and spread method. So I'm just going to be using the front paper to cut the back out. So I'm just going to arrange it, making sure that I add my zipper allowance. I'll pin it down. So guys, remember I added 3 inches on the waist, on the hip, and 2 inches on the waist area. The reason for adding this is because I am going to be pleating the front. So if you're pleating, it's necessary for your measurement to shorten. So I wouldn't want my measurement to short. That is why I added 3 inches on the hip and 2.5 inches on the upper part. Okay, but why cutting the back? Because I'm not pleating the back, I'm just going to put my normal same allowance on the back. So I'll trace it out like so. After tracing out, I'll remove the paper and measure very well before cutting. So guys, I am using a 2 yards of Duchess fabric to achieve this down part. Okay, So this is what I have for the back. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. I'm sorry if you're not seeing the down part, but it's just our normal back skateboards. Now after cutting the back, we are going to head back to the front because the front method is a slash and spreading method. I'm not going to be teaching the upper part, which is the overlapping bodies, because I have the tutorial here on my channel how to make an overlap or top. So you can go ahead and watch that. So now the next thing I'm just going to go ahead to do here is to measure down from the starting point. I'm just going to mark down where the underbust and the waist area stopped. You know, the half length stop on the underbust. Now I'm just going to measure out where I want that or pleating to start. I'm going to remove the measurement of half length, placing my tape like this to get to the length of my waist measurement and mark. If you watch that picture we are recreating, the waist area has a bold or a bold face. Okay, I'm just going to rule it out like so. So the pleating started from the under of the waist. So that is what I'm trying to get. Now to after marking out the waist length there, I'm just going to place my tape from the under it, like beneath the waist, and start marking out 2 inches. I'll be measuring 2 inches and mark it out like this. So you can mark 1.5 inches depending what you want. I'll mark 2 inches starting from that place to the length where I marked my slashing length. So that place I marked a slashing length, that will be where the length of the pleating is going to stop. So I'm just going to go ahead and rule out the 2 inches line like so. After that, the next thing I'm going to do is to label it. So this down part, which is that is going to be the slitting part, is going to be the number 8. I'm going to go ahead and label it. Now we are going to slash it. That is why it is called a slashing and spreading method. I'll slash. So make sure you label. If you didn't label before slashing, you will not know where the upper part or the down part started. The arrangement is going to be confusing. So make sure to label it, to number it, okay? Now, after slashing, we are going to go ahead and spread on the fabric. Now, to know the amount of the fabric you are going to use, like we use 2 inches to slash this. So multiply that 2 inches into 8 equal part, because I have from number 1 to number um 8. Multiply it by 2, at least it's going to be giving us 16 inches length. But if you add the upper part, which is the waist area, is a little bit bigger, it's bigger than 2 inches, so add it up, then know the length of the fabric you are going to use to spread. But at least with the help of the 2 inches we slash, multiply it by 2. Whatever it gives to you, go ahead and add extra allowance, including the down part, which is the number 8. Remember, the number 8 has a very big length. Add that number 8 if you are multiplying by 2. Okay, add it up, know the length you are going to be spreading, or the length of the fabric you are going to be using. But I made use of 2 inches for this, and I also use this I made use of 2 yards of fabric for this, and I also use it for my sleeve, though my sleeve does not have that big puffy that I wanted on the round sleeve. Now the next thing I went ahead to do is to spread on this fabric, and I folded this fabric up. As you see here, my fabric is on fold, and I started to spread, giving the gap of 1 inch. So that gap you're looking at there is just a gap of 1 inch. All right, I will spread, pin, and give the gap of 1 inch. So I wanted the pleating to have 1 inch gap. But remember, if you're pleating it, the boldness you are going to be having is the 2 inches bold for that your slashing, because we slash using 2 inches. So if you're pleating, you are going to pleat with 1 inch. If you give a gap of 1 inch, like the way I am doing right now. So if you're pleating on the machine using the uh gap of 1 inch, the boldness is going to that is going to be on your fabric is going to be the boldness of 2 inches. I don't know if I am explaining this very well. So I'm trying to arrange the down part. I don't want the gap to be too much, so that is what I'm just doing. And remember, that down part, after pleating the bolded pleat, I am still going to go ahead and do a little pleating on the down part, a little, just a little. You will still see that. Now I went ahead to trace it out. While tracing out, I added ½ inch allowance on that side part. Remember, I folded my fabric before spreading this. Okay, now after marking it out, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. So if you watch at the upper part, you will discover that I have some allowance on the upper part. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like so. You know, if you're pleating, the length will be shortening. If you're pleating, the length will be shortening. I went ahead to add about 5 inches on the down part as well. Okay, so I wouldn't want, after pleating, my length will short. Even after making this gown, I discovered that the length shortened. I still went ahead to join on the down part. When I finished making this gown, I discovered that the length shortened. I went ahead to join. So please don't do that. Add enough. If you cannot add like I added 5 inches on the down part, is not enough. I went ahead to add extra 5 inches again. So while spreading, make sure you add, after spreading, make sure you add extra 10 inches. So it's better to be enough than to be shortened. Okay, now the next thing I do is to use my chalk to mark the place, the gap of 1 inch I just spread. I use my chalk to indicate the place because that is what I'll be using to pleat, right? After marking with my chalk, I'm just going to use my uh, scissors to notch the 1 inch gap. So with the help of this notching, I'm going to be able to pleat it on my sewing machine. Okay. So after that, I'm just going to remove the paper, open it up, and yeah, take it to the sewing machine to pleat and stitch. So before I take it to my sewing machine, I'm going to first of all pleat the first upper part, which is the waist level. And if you watch that picture we are recreating, the first pleating has a slanty shape like that. I'm trying to get it, okay, trying to make it to look that slanty by pleating it down or using the pin to secure like you see here. So that's half, that's both upper part you're seeing is just the underbust and waist area. So the picture has this both upper part like so, it wasn't pleated. So I have the length of about 6 inches there. Now to the side I have 2.5 inches on the side like so, as you can see here. So the center midpoint is bigger than the side part. Look that picture very well, look at it very well. You will notice the picture we are recreating, you will notice that that is what I'm just trying to do. Now I'm just going to take it to my sewing machine and start to pleat. I'll be pleating on the two sides of the fabric, but I'll start on the first or the one side, one part, and start to pleat. So while pleating, I am going to be bringing folding the 1 inch, making sure that it lap on the next 1 inch that is on the upper part like so. I'll fold, I'll pleat it like so, I'll stitch, I'll flip it up like this, and I will stitch. So I'm making this pleating on the evening time. I couldn't see because I'm working with a black Duchess, so I'm using my torch to see clearly, as you can see there. So I'll continue to pleat using the 1 inch till I get to the length of the spreading. So that notching that I make is going to show me where I am going to stop to pleat. So after pleating on this side part, I'm going to go ahead and pleat on the other side. After pleating, I am going to apply a hemming gum under this pleating area here. Like this pleating part you are seeing, the curve part. While ironing it, I'm going to use my hemming gum to hold this pleat down, to iron it down. It's not compulsory that you use a hemming gum. That is just what came to my mind. Like this place I'm touching right now, yeah, I'm going to use a hemming gum to hold it down. Okay, you can go ahead and do the way I just did it. I'm just telling you what I just did to secure that pleating, for that pleating not to spoil. You know that after pleating it, you are going to run a stitch on the center midpoint, but that stitch is not going to hold this pleat very well. That is why I use a hemming gum to secure it down. It's not compulsory. If you cannot use a hemming gum, just do whatever you wanted to do, but that's what the idea that came to my mind. Okay, now I'm done pleating and ironing it with my hemming gum. You can see the hemming gum inside, yeah. So that is what just gave it this uh, beautiful finishing look like this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring out the upper part So this is how I arrange my overlapping. You can go ahead and arrange your own like this. I don't want the lapping to get to the horizontal side or length, like so. This is how I am going to arrange my own, because the picture we are recreating have something similar. The lapping started from the midpoint. You can go ahead and lap your own top like this. Please, while cutting this upper part, make sure you add allowance to pleat. So now I have gone ahead to pleat, make a little pleating on the center, on the down part of this skirt, like so. After pleating the bold one, I just did a little pleating. Sorry guys, let's talk about the slitting. You know that the gown has a slit on the center part, so I'm just going to measure from the down part, measure to where I want the opening of the slit to start and end. I'll mark it out. Then I'm just going to use my chop and curve it out. After that, I'm going to trim it, cut it out. Okay, I'll connect using my chalk. So the sleeve you are working with has an elastic on the round sleeve area, and it's a kind of a free sleeve. So if you're measuring your sleeve on the round sleeve area, make sure you multiply your round sleeve measurement by 2 or by 3 for you to have that puffy area. So I'm just going to go ahead and join the upper part. Now after joining, you can see the lapping or part has excess allowance. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. If you arrange your lapping top the way I just did, this is what you are going to have. Go ahead and trim it out. Okay, so 3.5 yards is going to be okay for someone that is hip 38 and 40. 3.5 yards is going to be, if you're making use of a fabric length of 60 inches. So if you watch on this lapping part, I pleated the center point like so. I pleated it. So that is what I'm still saying, add a little allowance on the lapping top. Okay, so this is the opening of the sleeve, and you can see how the down part looks like. Very, very beautiful. The front is okay. Now this is the sleeve. I went ahead to multiply my round sleeve measurement. I'm talking about the down part by 2. I would have multiplied it by 2, but I don't have enough fabric again. I'll fold it and add my elastic. So the back is also ready. The back is also ready. I'm just showing the front because that is what we are working on. I've gone ahead to join the shoulder, everything, and shape it. So I just have excess allowance. Remember, I added 2 and 3 inches allowance for the front. So after doing everything, joining and shaping, this is what I have on the front. I have excess allowance. I'm just going to go ahead and trim it out. And guys, we are ready. The gown is ready. So this is how I came up with this recreation, and I hope you learned something from this tutorial. If you love what we do here, guys, please don't forget to hit the subscription button. Don't forget to hit the or notification bell, okay, so that you are going to be notified whenever we upload a new tutorial. Subscribe, okay. Subscription is free. It's not going to remove any money from your account. So this is it, guys. Thanks for watching my video, and see you on the next tutorial. Bye.